And we're live.
And we're live. How you doing, Kat?
Good. How about you, Dan?
Doing great.
Yeah,
Oh, we're doing great this week. Yes, doing very well.
excellent.
So
How are rates?
terrible,
Oh
terrible.
no! Oh, they're not going in the right direction for you, are they, Dan? Since you
They,
predicted the
I,
downturn of the
I.
interest rate, they seem to have taken an upswing.
Well, we'll see after Friday. We'll see where they're at after Friday. But I'll tell you what. Today's numbers, interesting stuff. Today's numbers, we had the 10-year Treasury. The note was up. I think it was 10 basis points at the end of the day. It was a big jump. You don't see that many days where it's up or down 10 basis points. But it came in the heels of some relatively benign economic news. I mean, it's kind of mushy, right? They had the ISM and the S&P Global Manufacturing Indexes that came out today, the PMIs. And ISM came in. That ISM is the bigger of the two, Institute for Supply Management, and it was weaker than the S&P Global. But both of them, you take a look at them, and they were very benign, a little bit mushy, kind of soft, not great numbers, right? But so you would expect you get get good results coming from interest rates. You figure, nope, didn't happen. Rates were up big time. There was a global sell-off in bonds. So anyway,
Oh,
whatever's going on, it wasn't a good day for interest rates, but that's okay. I was running around and I kind of mentioned I wanted to show you something. I was looking at, remember about 2-3 weeks ago, we were talking about Jerome Powell, talking about looking at the Indeed data
uh-huh.
and how
Yes.
unusual I said, and I never really did take the time until this weekend to look at the Indeed data, and say,
Uh-huh.
okay. So I thought, well, let's take a look at it. So I downloaded it all and want to show it to you. It's interesting stuff that's going
Is
on.
it?
Yeah, here we are. Market overview, resilient market. I'm not gonna spend a bunch of time on all these slides. There's like 24 slides. But take a look at the downtrend that you got in job postings right now, from February 2020 through May 10th, 2024. Is it? They're really coming down quite a bit, and this is on Indeed.
Yeah.
And you take a look at the job postings on Indeed are down 2% from a month ago. That they just continue to
Yeah.
slide lower, basically.
Right. So the number of jobs being offered is coming down, is what you're saying. And it's been coming down
Yes,
for a couple of years, right?
that's right. And it's coming down, 2% a month. It looks like at this point.
Pretty
So
dramatically, and a fairly straight decline too. It's not like it's real bumpy, it's not real jagged. It's a pretty steady decline
yeah, it is, and it's just marching straight
for a
down,
couple
pretty
of years.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's see here. I'll go through some of this pretty quick, and some of this was kind of boring, to be honest with you. But when you take a look at it on the whole, it's interesting. You got the traditional office jobs are down. Okay, and you can go through banking and find different sectors. Human resources. Human resources actually still doing the best. But that's interesting. Software development postings are down quite a bit. Software development.
Yeah.
Go
Wild.
figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's see here. What do we have here? Postings holding up better in many in-person sectors. So the in-person sectors, things like childcare, construction, food prep, nursing, all the things that take people instead of software, like software developers, all the things that require people to do the work are holding up better. That's
Okay.
interesting.
That is interesting.
Postings are weakest in high remote from home sectors. Oh, I should have saved from last week. There was a story about Wells Fargo. They were laying off some of their workers, and they discovered that some of their workers they purchased this special mouse, not this one, but the workers, the young kids, were buying this mouse on Amazon, and it would automatically jiggle. It would go jiggle, 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 and you didn't have to move it around with your hand, so that the company thought that they were at home working, and they really weren't. They were goofing off.
That's too much.
Can't make that up.
Oh my God, you can't make that up. Hi guys. Hi Amanda. Hey, I got some people saying nice things today.
Hello, Amanda. Oh gosh.
Somebody called me beautiful.
So we have job openings.
What shoes am I wearing? Barefoot. The barefoot Contessa. Hey, yeah, so you got job openings, huh?
Well, we got job openings, and it shows how the U.S. job openings, the JOLTS data comes out tomorrow. So I thought that's what they talk about with job openings, and then but they track very nicely with this the job postings that we've got. So
yes,
it all and you take a look at every single one of these slides, right? And every single one of them, jobs are coming down.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's just things are decelerating, I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the contrast. You take a look at all these slides, basically. They're all telling pretty much the same tale.
Very similar story. Yeah.
Very similar story. And I guess it's just in contrast with, or in conjunction with, we've been talking about how a lot of these jobs are being overstated and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. It kind of plays right into that. And I wouldn't be surprised if we've got the next revisions, by the way. You've got, they call it the QCEW that's the final number, comes out from the Census Bureau. And so they'll release a press thing. I think it's in August. I think it's August 20th. And then in September is the final number for the quarter ending in March. So it's like March, and then you got to go all the way. So that's like 6 months till you get the final numbers. But that's when you'll see what Q1 looks like. So it'll be interesting. I'm talking about all this stuff about the Indeed thing, and you can kind of see all the different slides here. They all look about the same. They're kind of sliding down, right? But the reason I mentioned this Indeed thing is that we do have the employment report coming out on Friday, and JOLTS coming out tomorrow, and then ADP coming out on Wednesday. Oh, it's a very exciting week for the employment wonks. Oh, yes, it's very exciting. You can't ask for any more than what we're getting. So anyways, I thought this was an interesting.
What do you got there?
And just the whole deck was kind of interesting. So I'll take this off now. But I'll tell you what, one thing here at the end, look at this thing at the end. Hang on. AI job postings. They had a thing for AI job postings.
Below their 2022 peak, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That is interesting that actually the AI stuff, but it looks like it peaked back in 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago. We're just hearing about it now. So at least me, I'm a little behind at times, but I know you're on top of it. You've got your ChatGPT going for you.
I love ChatGPT. It's my favorite guy. Hey, somebody want to see my flowers behind me?
Let's see your flowers. Let's see.
See my flowers?
Oh, look at that.
My hydrangeas.
They look good.
A small smattering. I actually have, I don't know if you can see me. I've got some hanging I don't know if you can see any of my hanging baskets. My head in the way. Well, there's one right there. Anyway. I spent a little bit of time gardening this year, guys. So
anyway,
okay. So
you want to start with Mason?
Amanda would like to know where you think interest rates are going down. This is for you, Amanda.
This is for you, Amanda. I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to show all those stats on
all those slides,
on all those slides on employment, because I do think when you start looking at the majority of the evidence, the vast majority of the evidence, we are seeing the economy weaken. And I do think interest rates are going to come down. All kidding aside, I do think we're going to see interest rates coming down. The only thing that I could see turning that around is if somehow there's some miracle where employment starts getting stronger and the economy turns around.
That's right. Yeah. I think the general consensus is we may be going into a recession, or maybe we already have. Right, Dan?
Mm-hmm. Monique says hi.
Oh, hi, Monique. And Amanda is still listening.
From Facebook.
Hi, Lily. Hi, Lisa.
Hello, okay. Monique. Okay, so
cool. I like it.
Yeah.
We got people listening. We got people we know watching us, Dan.
That's right. That. We do. No, I do think that interest rates peaked back in April, on April 25th.
Yep.
And we've seen them kind of coming down and 2 steps down, 1 step up type of thing. And I think that's what we're going to continue to see for a while. But I do think that they're going to be lower into the fall.
Yep. Well, I think housing prices have peaked as well. Market softening.
Well, it's a good time
not for into a buyer's market by any stretch, except for maybe Mason County. Poor Mason County. But it's definitely softening week over week. We're just on now we're going down. We were going up in the, in the winter and the spring.
Right.
Now we're coming back down that third week, about that, second, third, fourth week in April. We're definitely the hottest weeks on the market. We still had some, a lot of competitions happening over the following month into May. We're seeing those taper off a little bit. Lot less people out setting off for review dates and things like that. So if interest rates do come down significantly, that will impact the real estate market, and it will possibly create more interest on the new listings. But the interest on the new listings is waning.
Well, I'll say this. I think it's a better market for buyers to come in.
It's a lot easier. You may or may not compete now.
Yeah.
So there's a listing that I have a client interested in over towards Mukilteo, and priced 1 to 1.2, and they did not set an offer review date. It was also not updated, and they still got an offer. They got supposedly another one coming in. And then they've got another client that would like to take a look at it tonight at 6 and possibly join the race. So and then I've got my client who is thinking about it still. So because the other house we were looking at, Dan, it was a beautiful remodel. Now it was a split, but a split will work for her lifestyle. That's totally works fine for her. The other house is a 2-story. So, but the split, the wonderful split that we saw for a second time yesterday, just gorgeous remodeled about 7-8 years ago, and big backyard, big flat backyard, usable backyard, fully fenced. It basically was turnkey, ready to go with a 4-car shop attached. Now, you guys, I keep running into these. I don't know. I didn't know there was so many out there. Anyway, I mean, I had one listed earlier this year in Puyallup. That one went by the wayside, by the way. Nothing like building the shop on the drain field to help you not sell it. Anyway, hopefully they're not watching this. They're social media buffs. Anyway. What the heck?
Well.
The truth is the truth. I mean,
and
that's called an inherent challenge, and some inherent challenges are harder to get past than others. The challenge with the split that my client was looking at yesterday is that there was a water incident in 2022 where they had a deluge of rainfall downpour, and the water came through the wall in the bedroom at the end of the house up against where the house is up against the hill and underneath the garage. And they had enough water in there where they had to rip out all the carpet in that room, and they had to re-sheetrock that room and put new trim down and get it aired out. So it was significant. So they installed a sump pump, but the problem with the sump pump situation is that that's really meant for a crawl space. or a basement that's got, concrete floors that all slopes to the sump pump, right? So they
Right.
put this one in a closet. I did not look at the configuration, but I can't think of a configuration that would make it work, because if the water comes into the house, that's a problem no matter what,
Yeah.
right?
That's
Whether it
good.
gets pumped out or not. The
Right.
fact that you've got a sump pump in the house, in the closet, in the bedroom, makes me fear that there's water going to come through the wall again. And I think that's a very well-founded fear. My client decided not to write an offer on it, and it was overpriced as well. So by, I'd say 25 to 50. They just dropped it 50. They started way too high.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, and that's going to be a tough one for the seller, because the seller's actually going to have to be able to convince somebody that what they did was adequate to remediate that situation. I'm just not buying it.
Right.
Buying
Well,
it. So,
well,
anyways,
good
not
luck
gonna
to them.
that one. So now we're back to the other one. It's a cute little 2-story in a really sweet little neighborhood. So I don't know if she's going to make an offer. We're going to have to do it fast. And I don't know that I could get her offer written before 9 p.m. It probably would likely be something where we're verbally have to do a kind of a verbal submission,
Right.
and see if we're anywhere in the ballpark, and then get it to them as soon as possible, kind of thing. So,
Well, if you get a call while we're doing our
well, I usually get notifications, so I always hit the button, um, you know, um, the privacy button, so it doesn't interrupt me,
yeah, but
but it
this
always
time
does. It always flashes on top of my screen that there's a call coming in. So I'm
this
like,
well
I
this
don't know
time
why.
you
I don't know why I hit that button, but so I figure I'll see it if it comes in. So
well, I'll
anyway,
tell you what, let's jump
and I
over to
don't and
the
I don't want to cut my live stream short. I'll write the offers. That's not
right.
the issue. It's up to her to make the decision, and then for us to make sure we have time to go over it and stuff. So,
Gotcha.
us doing a live for half an hour, 45 minutes is not going to make or break that situation. So,
Well, let's take a look at some of the stats.
you want to see some of the stats? Okay,
Yeah,
let's start with King.
the king of all the
So,
counties.
yeah, so you guys, inventory is going up across the board, is going up. So all 6 counties, month supply of inventory is up to 1.3 months supply in King County. So that's up from 1.2, I believe, last week. So the average sales price in King County year over year is up 7%. So that's essentially from the highs last year to the highs this year. So it does look like we've maybe reached a new plateau. I haven't checked to see if it's the highest ever, but we definitely are up over last year's highs.
Yeah. Hey, I know I actually was doing a little digging on stats by cat, looking at last week's numbers. They're a little softer this week. They're just a
They're
little bit softer.
softening, Dan. Yes,
Yeah,
they're softening. The
little
market is
softer.
not falling apart, you guys. It's not coming unglued. It's still a seller's market, still a strong seller's market. It's just not as many sellers are getting under contract within the first 7 or 14 days as they were.
I got to tell you though, Kitsap. I'm just spoiling the show here for everyone, but Kitsap had a pretty good week. So anyway,
Yeah,
we'll get to Kitsap.
So did Skagit, really, overall.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they did very, very well. Okay, so 42% of sellers in King County got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between June 16th and June 22nd. And let's see. 51% of sellers in King County got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between June 2nd and June 15th. 49% of sellers set offer review dates. And there were 1,969 listings currently on the market in King County. So that's King County. So Snohomish County, 38% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between June 16th and June 22nd. 52% of sellers in Snohomish County got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between June 2nd and June 15th. 43% of sellers in Snohomish County set offer review dates. There are 810 active listings on the market currently in Snohomish County. Snohomish County has gone up 12% year over year average sales price. So that would be from June of last year versus June of this year. So up 12%.
You sure?
Yep.
It says 9% on the stats.
No, I remember I sent you a new table.
Oh, my fault. I'm sorry.
So your those numbers are wrong.
Oh, sorry about that. No, everything else is right. It's just the average sales price.
Oh, you know what? I made a mistake on that. Yeah, I made a mistake. That's a mistake on that one. Yeah, I'll have to fix that.
That's okay.
Me and my fast fingers. Okay, so 1.3 months supply of inventory in Snohomish County right now. So that's been ticking up over time here, with the low being like 0.5. I want to say in March, April, sometime.
Right,
there.
It was 0.5. Yep.
0.5. Yep. So Pierce County, 30% of sellers got under contract within the first 30 days. Within the first 7, Pierce County, 30% of sellers got under contract.
Hang on. Take 2. Here we go.
Take 2. 30% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between June 16th and June 22nd. No.
Yes.
Yes. Right. All right. 41% of sellers in Pierce County got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between June 2nd and June 15th. We had 24% of sellers in Pierce County set offer review dates. 1,343 listings currently on the market in Pierce County. Pierce County has only seen a 2% increase year over year for average sales price. And Pierce County has 1.5 months supply of inventory. So they are also going up. All right. Mason
County.
Mason County. So Mason County. What is it? 21%? Yeah.
21%. Yeah.
21% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between June 16th and June 22nd. And 15% of sellers in Mason County got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between June 2nd and June 15th. Now, Mason County's month supply of inventory has gone up quite a bit. It's up to 2.6 months. We're getting really close to just a normal market there. We still have a few homes going under contract within the first week or two, but not a significant number. So may consider not setting an offer review date unless you have waterfront or something like that. So we've got, so the average sales price in Mason County has gone up 5% year over year. So June 2023 versus June 2024. And there are 211 active listings on the market in Mason County. Skagit County, Dan.
Skagit County. You know what? I almost got it, but no, I hit Kitsap. There we go. There's Skagit.
Okay. Skagit County, 29% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between June 16th and June 22nd. 48% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between June 2nd and June 15th. So pretty good sellers market going on in Skagit County right now. They've got 27% of sellers that have opted to set offer review dates last week. A little light in the loafers, given their data. Well, I guess 29% the first 7 days got under contract. So I guess 7%, just 7%.
7%, yes.
That is low. That's a little low. So but whenever you get down in the 27 percentile getting under contract the first week, it does feel dicey to set an offer review date. So I think they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
243 listings currently on the market in Skagit County. So this is a wild number, you guys. So from June last year to June this year, the average sales price in Skagit County has gone up 18%.
18%.
Yep. And I think I believe that. I didn't verify that by checking median to median. I just didn't do the calculation. I have the numbers written down, but I haven't done the calculation yet. But I do believe Skagit County is getting a lot more attention now that Snohomish County is getting so expensive.
That makes sense.
people are getting pushed further and further north. And so I think that's boosting Skagit County's real estate market for sure.
That makes sense.
So 1.5 months supply of inventory in Skagit County. So Kitsap County.
Kitsap County. Yes, we're waiting for Kitsap.
So they got a good market going in Kitsap County.
Kitsap's been doing pretty good over there.
Yeah.
All things considered.
Yeah, 43% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market in Kitsap County if they listed their home between June 16th and June 22nd. But only 41% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between June 2nd and June 15th. 390 listings currently on the market in Kitsap County. 47% of sellers in Kitsap County decided to set an offer review date last week. The average sales price in Kitsap County really has not increased year over year. It looks like it's gone down slightly. So maybe their June last year was a pretty good June. And it was maybe a little less better this year.
Oh, Monique is asking a question.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, Monique is asking, what about Island County? Was shocked by how high my house appraised last week. Island County must be doing quite well.
Yeah, I haven't covered Island County. As you might imagine, 6 counties is a lot. Right, Dan? But it would be interesting to see. And I have, every once in a while I check like over in Eastern Washington, I'll take a county and take a peek. I've even looked into Thurston County a time or two to see how their market's doing relative to ours. Typically, the outlying counties are a little less seller weighted towards sellers. They're a lot more closer to a balanced markets, just like Pacific County, right down in southwestern Washington. That's a lot more of a balanced market, much closer to like how Mason County looks. So that's typically what I see. I think Whatcom County is probably doing pretty well with Bellingham up there and the airport and stuff. Would be my guess is they probably got a pretty strong market up there too. Yeah. Very similar to Skagit, I would imagine. But Kitsap County has 1.4 months supply of inventory, and that has gone back up. It went down a little bit over the holiday, and then now it's back up.
But relatively speaking, though, Kitsap's doing pretty well. It's a little bit stronger.
Kitsap has held in there the whole time. So they've been following kind of neck and neck with Snohomish and King, just a tad behind in most cases. Pierce County also has been doing quite well, performing quite well since last fall. When we got into winter, then their numbers went up as we got into December. And they've been doing okay. If you got 30-40% of sellers getting under contract within the first couple of weeks, you're doing okay. It starts to feel a lot worse for sellers when it gets down to 25%, 20% getting under contract that first week, because your chance of actually getting sold that first week becomes slim.
Right.
I had a listing that went on the market a couple of years ago in Woodinville, and the market had really softened. That was the end of 2022. And I think we went on in November of all times. And it took a couple weeks. I think it took 13 days, something like that, to actually get under contract. And we ended up with a really good offer. Nothing wrong.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So it can still be done. It's just, it might take a little longer. There's that, the guarantee of that 7 days is no longer there when the market gets to that point. So,
right.
But anyway, so Dan, I put together a little book.
Yes, the buyer book.
No, this is not the buyer book. That was last week. I did bring that one out here, but this is actually Kat's successful formula for Kat's successful formula for preparing your home for market.
Oh, yes, the seller book.
Little 8x. Yes, this is a supplement to the seller guide, right? So this is also included in the seller guide, but this is more detailed. So, yeah. So anyway, this is just a cute little. I think it's about a 16-page book, but starts with roof and gutters.
And it ends with you popping the cork.
It does. And then it goes on. It talks about preparing your home for market. So exterior, and then what do we got over here? Kitchen and bathrooms. So whether making the decision, whether you should add new handles, whether you should update the countertops to quartz or a modern surface, or maybe you should repaint your cabinets and put a new countertop on. So that's what you address in that third step. And then the fourth step here is painting the exterior and the interior, something to really keep in mind. You want the house, if it's well painted on the inside and outside, it will feel like it needs less maintenance.
Weren't you looking at a house earlier this week for over $1 million, and it had
The paint was
paint?
peeling on the outside, you guys. It made me just want to leave because I was afraid of all the other things that the sellers had not done to maintain the home.
You'd think for $1 million you could.
For $1 million, you'd think that
you get a painted house. It's not too much to ask for.
Listen, there's that Windermere Ready program, right? So if you list your home with Windermere, you can tap into your equity very quickly. Dan's laughing at me.
I'm just thinking they don't have a Redfin Ready program. They have a Windermere.
A lot of companies do have programs. I'm not going to say that they all do. They don't. But Windermere does have a program. That's my point. It's a fairly inexpensive program. It can be approved fairly quickly. They do now take a look at credit score, and they base your interest rate, I believe, on your credit score. So you get a little cheaper interest rate if it's a little lower credits or a little higher credit score.
Right.
So
you're only using it for a month.
You're just using it for a couple of months tops, right? So you're just going to get the house ready for market. Hopefully you can do that in 30 to 45 days. And then however long it takes to get it sold, right? And then they'll take the money out of escrow. So there's a couple $1,000s for, in total, for, I don't know, $25,000, $50,000 that you borrow. It's just not much money when it comes to do the things or don't do the things. Do the things, get the money, do the things, right? Fix your house out, get it ready. Fix your house up, get it ready for market properly so that you can get that multiple offer situation if it's still out there in your area. But then the next thing is the front door, right? So and it's not just the front door, it's the door handle. So think about replacing
you're looking for the handle that goes like this, right? You want
not a lever. No, you want one that's got a thing you push with your thumb, right? So a more formal door handle.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, a lot of them have the more squared off, kind of contemporary looking. Those are very popular right now. It can have a lever as long as it's a big door handle. It just needs to have presence on the front door to make it feel substantial. So people really like that. You don't really think that that's a thing until you're out showing houses and you realize that, hey, having the lock work easily and the door handle be really nice is just makes walking in the house a lot nicer. Let's put it that way. And if you could, maybe you just need a fresh coat of paint on the front door. That also can do the trick, But just think about the hardware stuff. That's a very small change can make a big impact for the buyer's first impression. So, and then we've got flooring, right? So, if you have flooring that you do need to remove because it's old and worn or damaged, consider replacing that with the wood plank flooring, right?
Would that be the modern flooring?
The modern flooring is the wood plank. Yes, the laminate wood plank flooring. That is the modern flooring. Laminate wood plank. So it's not real wood. You can also put in real wood. There's not a lot of pushback against real wood, as you might imagine from buyers. They like that. But most of them also don't mind if it's laminate. They really like it to be waterproof. And it's better if it is waterproof. When I'm out showing houses, I often see raised edges around each plank where water has intruded and now is swelling. The inexpensive laminate. I didn't want to say cheap.
Well, the thing is, those, if you do have the nice wood floors, it is pretty nice. I know they're a lot more upkeep and all that stuff. You have to keep them oiled and all that stuff, but boy, it sure is nice.
It depends what kind of wood. You can get pre-finished real wood that lasts just like laminate, essentially. And like the floors I've got, my Bruce hardwood floors, those are waterproof. It's Hydropel. Hydropel from Bruce hardwood floors. The Hydropel is waterproof. I've got it throughout my entire downstairs, included in the laundry. And it's amazing. I have had a dog pee on it, left it overnight. It was fine the next day, just wiped it up. Well, Bella, remember?
Oh, Bella, yeah. Passed the pee test.
Yeah, it did pass the P test. And also I've had friend dogs over to play with Mr. Fat Tuesday, and they've knocked over big water bowls, and the water sat there for a while when we were out on the patio, and
Right.
never been an issue. I can't say enough about the Bruce Hydropel flooring. Put it in right though, install it right. Watch the installers, make sure they're not breaking the edges. That won't be waterproof because that wax, touching that wax to keep it waterproof. So
Right.
anyway, I just think flooring is a good opportunity. If you can't salvage or don't want to salvage existing flooring, consider putting a wood plank flooring in maybe your entire downstairs, your entire main level. It's a really nice seamless feel as a buyer walks from room to room, as opposed to having different types of flooring from the entry to the kitchen to the family room or to the living area. It's a much nicer, cleaner feeling to have just it be all one surface. It's lovely.
Right.
I'm very grateful I did my own. I was forced to do it because of water damage. Water damage that I did not report to my insurance company. So don't want that showing up on your clue report, guys. So be cautious about what you report to your insurance company. I know we have insurance for a reason, but there are times when you don't want that reported. You don't want that on there. When it comes time to sell, it could be that it might make your home less insurable in the future. So bear that in mind. That's a fact. Clue reports. From now on, realtors should be getting clue reports on the home that their buyer is purchasing, because in our office, we've run up against issues with trying to get a home that has a 30-year roof on it, and the home only has that roof is 15 years old, and that house suddenly became uninsurable.
Ooh.
Buyers walked.
That's a trouble.
So, or you need more expensive insurance. So yeah, that's a thing going forward now. So we are going to need to make sure that the home that the buyer is making an offer on actually is insurable. So, look at the length of how old the roof is, can be a big deal. So we think, oh, it's not, the roof isn't leaking. We can sell it like that. Well, if you have a cash buyer, you can, like we did in Autumn Meadows. We had a cash buyer, so we were able to sell that. And it is a metal roof, and theoretically that roof should last 50 years. But there are insurance companies giving pushback about the age of roofs now. So
yeah.
Anyway, just interesting. The next section is on seller procured inspections. A good idea almost across the board, even if with the market softening a tad, still a really good idea, because you could end up with two buyers at the same time that might want to make an offer. And if you can provide them that inspection report, you could get more than one offer.
Well, the thing is, it really struck me while we're sitting in the house over Autumn Falls, on
Autumn Meadows, yeah.
Autumn Meadows, yeah. Mm-hmm. How important it is to have that inspection report there right at your fingertips, because you don't want anything to stand in between you and a potential offer, right? You just want to make sure you get it out to them. They have no excuse not to make an offer.
That's right. It removes the financial barrier for buyers if they've been competing, right? It now no longer costs them any money to compete. It just costs them emotional getting, falling in love with the house, right? It gets emotionally. There's some emotional trauma that they're signing up for there if they compete in a multiple offer situation. But it removes the financial burden, so of having to go out and get your own inspection prior to making an offer. So I think that having a seller procured inspection is everything. Plus, the seller at that point can make good decisions as to what should be done to get the house ready for the market, what they want to leave for the buyer, and what they like to take care of themselves. So I personally feel like seller procured inspections are a good idea. I do understand that there's an argument against it, risk down the road to the sellers. I don't know what that argument is, but I know there are attorneys that are advising against using a seller procured inspection. But for me and my business, it feels like the right thing to do for the market that we're in. So that's kind of my position on that. So the next thing is exterior cleaning. You want to make sure that the outside side, that the siding looks good, right? That the roof is clean and there's no items that need repair. The gutters are clean inside and outside. So, I've got a guy who cleans gutters, and he cleans inside and outside. And so it makes that because it's part of the trim usually. It makes the trim like it's all sparkling brand new white. He does a really, really good job, and it's not much money to have him come out and do that. So it's a really good idea to make sure that the gutters are cleaned. So let's see. Then we have landscaping. So the thing about landscaping is you want to make sure that the lawn obviously is mowed and trimmed, and that the bushes and trees have also been trimmed so you can see the home. And also the gardens should be mulched. And if you have any areas with rock or gravel, you want that to be fresh rock or gravel, or go around with a weed torch and get rid of the weeds and stuff that way, the debris that way with a weed torch. So those are really handy gadgets to have. They use them at event centers to quickly clean up the gravel. Are you laughing at me, Dan?
No.
No, I'm sure he is. I got hearts going though. Hi, Amanda. Tim from A Perfect Pain is awesome. We already on the books for fall again. Yes. Amanda,
Yes.
you are right. I just had him out at my house, and I was like really careful when I was watering my flowers that are in flower boxes in front of the windows, not to get any water on the windows, because he yells at me about the water spots. So plus I don't want to ruin the great I mean, they're sparkly. They're just sparkly. I love it. It's been like a month or more. They still look all sparkly. It's like ridiculous. So yes, Amanda, Tim with A1. I don't know if I don't think his company is called maybe it is called A Perfect Paint. I don't know. But anyway, Tim, call me. I have his contact information. He does roofs, gutters, windows, inside, outside, skylights, and exterior glass for railings. Right. And then he'll pressure wash too. Pressure wash driveways, concrete. He's just a good all around guy for stuff like that. He's set up for doing those tasks. So we love Tim. Tim's been one of my service providers for, I can't remember how many years. It's been that long ago. So pretty much since the beginning. I don't know, somewhere 25 years ago. I don't know, somewhere in there. Anyway, and that takes me to windows, guys. So yes, have the windows done. In addition to the landscaping, the windows is going to be one of the last things you have done. And then if you need a professional deep clean, this is a really good idea for move out. If you're vacating the property prior to putting it on the market, they will come in and they will clean your appliances and do a deep clean in the whole house and make it look great. In some cases, if it's like a little rambler, they can even do the windows if you ask them to, but they might not do the exterior. That's the only thing. But Magic Hands is my go-to place for cleaning. I get rave reviews when I send them to clients. And so I still think that they are the best at what they do. So, and finally, staging, you guys. Staging is the last step. Well, theoretically, it's the last step. Actually, there's one more. But staging is vitally important to getting your home sold in a relatively short period of time. You know, even if you're continuing to live in the home, we can have a stager come in, provide a consultation for what items to remove, what items to leave, and then possibly shoosh up your place with some modern art, some modern throws, and some other things to just kind of make it pop a little bit more for the photos and the cinematic videos and 3D Matterport. So staging, vitally important. Do not do virtual staging. That leads to disappointment. So you do not want the buyers disappointed at any stage of their looking at your house or your home. You do not want them feeling disappointed or let down. So the goal with staging is to actually, when they walk in the house, they feel and see the way it is presented in the photos and videos. Usually the in-person is much better than looking at it online. So last step. Call me. It's important. It's new in Washington State. You need to offer to pay the buyer's agent. You should offer to pay the buyer's agent a reasonable compensation amount. So that used to be linked to the listing commission before. They were linked together, and now they are separate. And so you definitely need to call me for all the data. I don't think I'm supposed to say that. Okay. And then that's it. That's now you've completed all the steps to getting your home ready for the market. and we'd get it on the market as quickly as we can. It give me like at least 2 weeks notice, guys. I need to get, scheduled with the service providers, the videographer, right? Get to sign up, and we got to get the paperwork together. Give me 2 weeks, okay? Sometimes I get like 8 days notice. No, it causes a lot of stress, extra stress in my life. So here we go. So there we are. That's me popping champagne. Actually, she's a friend of mine from the office for my photo shoot. But I'm happy to pop champagne with you guys when we get it all sold. So that concludes Kat's successful formula for preparing your home for market. Ask me for the little booklet if you want it. I'm happy to send you a hard copy or email you the e-version, which is really cute. So, but it's got all the steps. If you follow those steps, you're not going to be missing. You shouldn't be missing anything. So, I didn't say remove the old,
hang on, Cap. Before we go, hang on.
Yeah.
I've got something here we could do here. I've got cats. Let's go through the whole thing real quick.
Oh, Amanda, text me some stuff about, water. Do that. I got more hearts. Hi, guys.
Okay, so we've got, here we go. We'll go through it real quick. How's that? Your cat's successful formula.
Oh, yeah. I gave that to you so you could do that.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. You can see it now on.
Yeah. So you guys on Facebook and YouTube, you can now see the guide. That's the actual guide. So Dan's got my booklet on the screen right now. So you can kind of see that's the cover.
You get roof and gutters.
Yep. Roof and gutters.
Then you've got the exterior.
So if you've got any trim pieces that need replacing or repairing, anything on the exterior that you need, to touch up, do that.
Then we've got kitchens and bathrooms. Kitchen and bathrooms. Yep.
Kitchen and bathrooms. And that's when you make the decision about whether you need to update the cabinets by painting them or adding extra jewelry for the room, right? New handles, right? Pulls and handles can be nice. New faucet. Sometimes countertops, sometimes updating countertops can make a huge difference. Obviously, you're not remodeling the kitchen, but there are maybe a few things that might make a lot of sense if you already have modern hardwood flooring in there and your kitchen really, the style of the cabinets is really nice already. Could be a nice touch to maybe paint them if they're oak or a dated color.
Yep. And then you've got your repainting. Of course, if you have peeling paint, that's...
Yeah, and that's a house that I listed, Dan. That's up in Everett, and that house needed painting very badly. They did black and white. Turned out very, very nice. They did the inside and the outside. We have a great painter that can do both, and it didn't take too long. Took a few days to get it done, but that house turned out very, very, very nice. But it makes a buyer feel like it's been well maintained when the paint is in good shape, both inside and outside.
Right. Looks great. Then
it's beautiful. It sold right away.
Then you got the big imposing front door.
Yeah. Yep. And with the front door, new paint sometimes will do it, but sometimes replacing the whole front door can be a worthy endeavor. It does cost a little money to do that, but it is your entry to the home. And so even putting on a new door handle, an impressive modern door handle and a deadbolt can be a very nice touch.
And then you've got the flooring. Of course, We're talking about the hardwood flooring, but also the modern flooring, of course.
Yeah. And so, a lot of times people still have carpet, Dan. And so carpet gets mashed down. People, a lot of times, like my client right now, she's going to replace any carpet that's in there. So it doesn't matter whether it's brand new carpet or not brand new carpet. She's taking it out and going to replace it. So, and if you are going to do that, maybe consider putting in the modern hardwood plank flooring.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then let's see, we've got the seller procured inspections. We talked about that.
Always a good idea, I think. There's both the home inspection as well as the sewer scope, which I would recommend on most homes 20 years or older, or the septic inspection, right? And that seller's always going to handle that as well.
And then you've got the exterior cleaning. We want to make sure everything looks good and sharp.
That's right. Yes.
And then
driveways. That includes driveways and sidewalks too, right?
Well, it makes a big impression if you have a nice clean outside and then the next one's landscaping. So it kind of goes hand in hand. So you have a nice exterior as you're entering the house. Makes a nice impression. And let's see here. Then we go down. We got the windows. Nice. Make sure they're clean. Call
And
Tim.
the window tracks, right? It adds sparkle to the home. Like right now I'm looking at my house and the windows make it sparkly.
Yeah. Makes a big difference. And then you got the professional cleaners to come in, make sure everything's clean. Don't cut any corners. And then finally, and huge difference, staging. Boy, that makes a big difference.
Yes.
That makes a big difference. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Go back over here. There we go. And you've got that available for folks if they want it, right? If
I do.
Like
I can send them. All they got to do is request it. You can just DM me, leave me a comment that they'd like the house prep guide. You can call it a home prep guide. Or if they'd like the whole meal deal, the whole seller guide, I can also provide them with an ebook for that or a hard copy if they'd like a hard copy. Gotcha. And then we also have a buyer guide too, guys. So we've got all three of those things right now. I'm working on more.
Oh gosh. Well, I think that's.
Are we calling it?
I think we'll call it a day.
Okay.
I think it's going to be an interesting week with all the employment data from my standpoint, and I think these ebooks that you've got for people listing their houses, it makes a big difference. I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
They really make a big difference. You do kind of amaze me how that when you're selling a house, you get more than they're asking. And when they're buying the house, you're always able to finagle a little bit out of the deal for your clients. And it works pretty good.
Yep.
Both sides. So
yep.
Anyways.
I work hard for my buyers, just like I work hard for my sellers.
Yes,
and the right way to do things is to try to get your buyer a deal if you can. Right. So sometimes the goal becomes winning the house. So if you're in a big multiple offer situation and the client has to have that house for a big reason, like parents live in the neighborhood or there's family really close by, or you absolutely need that school district, or you have to get moved 2 weeks from today, then maybe that house becomes vitally important for you. And you could spend that extra $50,000 to $100,000 just to make sure you do get it. Right. So in that case, you're going to spend more than the average bear for a home in this market, but that's okay because then you're getting the thing you need when you need it. So the rest of the time, if you have some flexibility with buying a home, a lot of times I can get we can get money off the price. We can negotiate, hopefully a better price than what it's listed for if there's not multiple offers. Well, I've got a listing. If you guys are my sellers, I get multiple offers on my listings, and I do that because I get them very well prepared for market, and that's the trick. Yeah, right. Even on a market that's slowing, we still ended up with a couple of offers, 2-3 offers in both of my last 2 listings recently. So it's worthwhile doing all the things because in both cases we went over asking price, and they were very fairly priced.
Right. Well. I'll tell you what, it's another week in the books.
Another day, another dollar.
Another day, another dollar.
Thanks for the hearts, Amanda. So what'd you say? Not me looking at our front door handle? What's your front door handle look like? I can't remember. But yeah, I really like a nice front door handle. Yeah, anyway. Well, Dan, we had a lot of comments today. That was really fun. I had a lot of comments on my end.
Well, that's good. We had Monique come on.
That was lovely. I love that.
She had some comments. So it worked out pretty good. So
yeah, I know. I should take a look at Island County for her.
Yes.
Where does she live?
I don't know. It says she asked, what about Island County?
Does she live on Camino?
She must live on Camino, yeah.
I mean, I think Camino's Island County.
She said something about was shocked by how high her house appraised last week. Did she put it up for sale? I don't know.
No, she must have gotten, I'll bet you she got the new assessment from the assessor.
Oh.
I'll bet you that's what because I just got mine.
That's probably it.
Mine went up a tad, know. I think the counties really screw it up sometimes, and sometimes they have to do a correction.
Yeah.
So sometimes they go down, sometimes they go up. Usually they go up. All right, Dan. Well,
all right, Kat. Talk to you soon. Have a great week.
Okay, you and Chewy gonna do some business now.
We're gonna talk.
You gonna talk? Do
We're
more
gonna
talking?
talk. We're talking.
Okay, see you guys later. Okay, I'm ending.
All righty. Thanks, Kat.
Okay,
Have a great week.
Okay, we'll see you later.
All righty. Bye-bye.